We're getting more information about more requests for this. And I want to ask you a question after I read this title. This is telling people everything they need to know about what's coming and why all these companies and big money people are so bullish on DLT technology. This article is titled 88%. That's a lot, folks. Now, wait, I'm going to ask you an important question. 88% of firms say they benefit from faster payments. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, hold your horses. I know because you're typing already. You have a thought already plotted out. You thought about it 2 days ago. Wait. If they want faster payments, and the legacy system, we know this, we've been researching for a long time now, and the legacy system has been pushing their legacy iteration of fast payments for years. But if that's the case, why don't all the firms, all the businesses just go with the legacy system payments? Right? Wait, right? You realize that? I know you noticed that. Wait. If they haven't jumped on board with the legacy system payments as of now, right? They haven't committed to it in any type of way. What are they waiting on? Right? What's the alternative? Right? Right. See, now you're getting a vision. I know. I just tell it in a certain way, but I know you're getting a vision now. What are they waiting on? Wait a minute. Wait again. I know somebody's like, wait, Mick, I didn't stop waiting the first time. Wait again. And if you remember what Christopher Waller said, it all makes sense. He said in a few different speeches, but the main one was when he was talking to a few of the different central banks, and he said you should probably wait on the private sector, who is the lead and out front and has the most financial institutions they've been working with to the point where they've been bragging lately. Bragging, folks. Who is that entity? Ripple. The XRPL. They even have article writers now asking really, really big questions. Don't worry. We got another article coming up. Oh, it was some potent news came out today. I always find it interesting. They release the potent news on the weekends. Why? They know you're out having dinner with your family. They know you're at the movies. They know you're relaxing. Maybe watching some sports. Why do they release all this potent news on the weekends or on Friday? It's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday time period. Why? But you already know why, right? 88% of their firms say they benefit from faster payments. What are they waiting on? They're probably waiting on the new financial system. They're probably waiting on DLT technology to be cleared so that they all can benefit. They've been under the paw. You got to understand, a lot of these businesses, we got to lower our voice a little bit. It's just you and me here, right? Okay, just making sure. You can bring people with you. Hold on. Don't. Just you and me, right? All right, just a private conversation. A lot of these businesses, especially the small and medium-sized businesses, and don't make no mistake about it, a lot of big businesses feel this way also. They've been under the paw of all the big money, all the governments and such. They don't want that anymore. They want to be free. They don't want to be used. Shh. We got a little too loud. Shh. They don't want to be used as pawns anymore. You know why? When you're used as a pawn, you get cut out of the money. They want to make a lot of money, just like you and I. You see what happened with the whole SWIFT system? Now, think about this. You saw what happened with SWIFT when it got weaponized, and then, all those different financial institutions got drug into that mess. So then they kind of get cut off from the world because the world doesn't want to use SWIFT anymore. Then at that same time, simultaneously, just happens that a lot of the banks that are using SWIFT also work with Ripple, Algorand, Quant, Theyre. Pay attention to that. A lot of those ones who are a part of the SWIFT system, there's crossover. They've worked with or partnered with or have some relationship with a lot of these bank coin companies, utility coin companies. Tell me I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I definitely could be. I put the stutter on it for you. See, I definitely could be. But I don't think I am. There's a reason for that. And now a lot of the big money behind the scenes, they're getting reports from their financial advisors. They have these crazily paid. They have the best of the best financial advisors, which means they're getting paid lots and lots of money to advise these big money people. Then they not only, in addition to the financial advisors, they have pure researchers. These people are hiring research teams, big money research teams. That means this is serious business. And they're coming to the big money and telling them, hey, listen, because of all of these things that are occurring, where the traditional system is sort of floundering and everybody's anticipating a new financial system where they can be free and have global reach. They can conduct things, they can conduct business with full automation globally. Do you understand what that means? So much money is about to come into DLT. So it's not just the benefit of using it, it's the benefit of making a lot of capital off of being an investor in it, not just an outright investor or early investor. And they all like to make money that way. They do. I mean, you think about what the stock market is right now, and then I would say, think about DLT technology in the future, crypto in the future being like that with a hit of steroids, in my humble opinion. You see all the different U.S. politicians, et cetera. You look at their financials and you would think that they're just geniuses when it comes to stock market, right? I know there's a lot of manipulation possibly there, allegedly. I'm just saying. But still, a lot of that capital will come to crypto. It's already happening. Right? So there's a variety of ways they want to benefit from this. But one of the main things is to get those manacles off them so they can make unbelievable amounts of value they couldn't make before. They couldn't access before. That's why they're still asking about this. What they're doing when they're participating in these polls and they're doing these interviews, et cetera, that where you get this type of information, is really like they're asking the question, hey, listen, they're saying this. They're making this statement and they're asking the questions at the same time. And they're saying pretty much, hey, we're waiting. When are you going to be able to do this? Because we don't want to use that system. We know they have that, all the legacy faster payments. We don't want to use that, or we would have already begun. We'd have already signed up for FedNow, but they didn't. So they're pretty much saying, hey, DLT, when are you going to, is it happening now? Because we're interested. We're letting you know we're interested. That's what this is doing. Ripple knows it. Chainlink knows it. Solana knows it. That's why they've been running wild. I'm talking about going out of their minds with meetings, partnerships, all types of things. It's just some of them fly below the radar. I noticed that a lot of stuff is not reported widely, right? But I just wanted to put that on your table. Then look at this. Wait a minute. I believe the second article asks an interesting question. Now, this second article is titled, Can Ripple's XRPL take on the world's largest asset manager? Now I'm going to read the article a little bit because I need to find out in what way they're talking. Let me read a little bit. So it says here, BlackRock's focus on tokenization signals a shift in finance. Yes, but Ripple was talking about it first. People forget that. They forget that. Listen, when I do the videos, I post a little crop of the screenshots. You know this. I've been doing that for a long time. People get to screenshot it, save it. So people know this. This is a fact. Ripple was one of the first companies to talk about going hard with real world asset tokenization. I think it was shortly after that. That's when BlackRock was talking about it, right? And Ripple talked about that before even the Bitcoin ETFs and things like that were happening. I'm just giving you a sort of building the time frame of when this occurred. It was like in a January of one of these past years, and Ripple was talking about real world asset tokenization. They always do things like that. They say something 1 or 2 or 3 times, and then they leave it alone, and then people forget they talked about it, forget they were one of the first interested in it, and behave as though Ripple never talked about it or is not building something behind the scenes. They're a private company. They don't have to let you know everything that they're doing. They're just generous enough to put out a lot of news, and I'm thankful for that for sure. But let's keep going. So are they ahead of BlackRock? Can they be ahead of BlackRock? Sure, they can be ahead of BlackRock. If you're going to talk about genius minds, like I said, if you're in the universities, which I don't know BlackRock to be, but of course they have enough money to bring in brilliant minds. If those brilliant minds also think there's going to be growth and freedom within BlackRock, sure, they can bring in a lot of brilliant minds because they have the money to do so, but there's no guarantee in that. But with Ripple is growing, there's potentiality. They were rated as one of the best workplaces, and they're inside the universities. At least they were, just like Stellar is, just like Algorand, a lot of them are in the universities. Some of their people even teach courses. So a lot of students, a lot of brilliant minds are going to come and work for those companies, Ripple included. So as far as intelligence and innovation, they can't compete with Ripple, not at all. As far as global reach, also, I'll say this. Now, that's a little bit more of a slippery slope, but we'll touch on that another time. But it says here, and Ripple is well positioned to lead this charge by introducing high quality tokenized assets. Exactly. That's good job. Good job, article writer. Okay, it says Ripple's XRP ledger, while strong in payments and tokenization, lacks cross-chain interoperability. You're not seeing what they're doing. First of all, keep in mind, with a lot of these financial institutions, they have connections to regular businesses as well, right? So RippleNet, who's going to bring together a lot of these banks, that's what I'm anticipating, will also have a lot of medium-sized businesses, a lot of small businesses, and you will have interoperability just through RippleNet alone. But at the same time, they have a lot of partnerships with interoperability companies, protocol, etc., right? So they're going to have global reach. There's a lot of crossover. And don't forget this. You're going to have Ripple working with Theyre. Lehman Bear confirmed that. Brad Garlinghouse and Lehman Bear did that interview. So you're going to have that crossover. You have the Chainlink crossover. Who knows how far that's going to go? You have the Cardano crossover. Who knows how far that's going to go, right? They're all going to be working together. You're going to see more of that. Why would you think that you wouldn't? Everything points to there's going to be more of that type of interoperable crossover work happening. And they know what they're doing. They're building a world network, really. And I don't mean that just like Ripple's taking over. No, I mean, all of these companies realize they're going to have to work together. They are the new system. So to be successful, they're going to have to try to benefit from each other and work together, not step on each other's toes. And I think that's what you're seeing. I called this years ago. Now you see it happening. So I'm not worried about interoperability. They're going to have plenty of interoperability. Not only that, they're going to bring a lot of traditional businesses on board as well. They're not leaving any money on the table. In my humble opinion, I don't work for Ripple, but I'm just going off of what I've seen and what I believe is logical. It says here, the partnership between Ripple and Omni aims to seamlessly distribute tokenized assets like RLUSD across the on-chain economy. Remember, we're still in the beginning. So all of this is still building. Now, I want to get to the part where they're talking about BlackRock. What does BlackRock have to do with this? It says tackling blockchain's two challenges. It says King identified two significant obstacles facing the blockchain space: the shortage of tokenized assets from traditional financial system, which I don't understand why that would be viewed in the future to be a problem. We haven't even been unleashed yet. Once we're unleashed, a lot of that will flood onto chain. Literally, everybody is just drooling. If you're reading all the different articles from the businesses, the banks and the governments, they're all drooling to get a hold of DLT and use it. It's just regulations right now, which are about to be lessened. They're being lessened already globally. I mean, so I don't see this as being a a problem long into the future. I just don't. It's my humble opinion. This is the lack of seamless cross-chain connectivity. Once again, when you're going to see all of these top crypto, many of them, not all of these, I mean, many of them crossover. They're going to work together. They're going to have bridges or gateless systems. I don't know. They're going to have something. They're working on this stuff right now. You can see it all coming together. All right. All right. So that's my humble opinion. So I don't see BlackRock as a competitor. I'm not thinking competitively. I don't think they do it as either. I think all of these major companies are trying to work together. They're not trying to step on each other's toes. They know there's enough money to go around. They know that. I think it's a lot of the regular people have been ingrained with a competitive mind state where they constantly have to fight against somebody. They want the promotion. It's them or it's this guy over here. It's them or this lady over here. You know, they want that house. It's them versus that person there. Who's going to make the highest bid on the house or whatever? I mean, it's all these different things. You know what I mean? So regular people are constantly in this life or death type battle competition when the big businesses are not like that. They're just not. They're trying to look for a way to make as much capital as possible, as easily as possible, and benefit from whoever is going to render themselves to their service. All right, so that makes sense? I don't know. Hopefully it did. So now, I've taken a little bit too much time with the utility coin news. Let's get to the Bitcoin news. I don't want to cut down the Bitcoin news too much. There's a lot going on with the big dog Bitcoin. This article here is titled "Bitcoin primed to hit a much higher price faster than people expect," says Kevin Svensson. Now, I've been saying I believe something like this could happen as well. Let's hear his take on it. It says cryptocurrency analyst and trader Kevin Svensson is leaning bullish on Bitcoin amid a bounce in the market. All right, let's find out why. Why are you leaning bullish? I mean, I know why I'm leaning bullish. Quote, "I think we're going to be getting something similar coming up where the market's going to move much faster than people expect. It's going to leave people in the dust." I've been saying the same thing. I feel all the catalysts say that that's going to happen. All the catalysts. I'm racking my brain, folks. I'm looking at the negative catalyst and I just don't see how the negative catalyst can change this energy right now. I just don't. And I'm trying to remain as balanced as possible, but I feel like we're arriving at an inevitability of Bitcoin skyrocketing, and with it, the rest of crypto will as well. At some point, I don't know when, I just know the potentiality is there. It says, it's going to leave people in the dust, and it's going to send us to a much higher price level. A full continuation of the parabolic trend, giving us another growth spurt to another high before maybe seeing some sort of sideways formation, unquote. Yeah, I can see that happening. I definitely could see that happening. And I talked about this maybe a few videos back where there could be a point of consolidation, a good amount of consolidation, which once again, I wouldn't be worried at that point either whatsoever. I think when it's time to be concerned about Bitcoin, I think we'll know. The negatives, the negative catalysts, if you're keeping up with everything, well, you can't keep up with everything, but you're keeping up with the majority of positive and negative catalysts. Once those negative catalysts start to outweigh the positive, then you know it's time to be concerned. I don't think that time is near, but once again, I could be wrong, folks. I am but a man. It says here, quote, "This trend line is actually getting pretty steep now. So if Bitcoin's price continues the parabola in this trajectory, we hit something like $124,000, maybe $130,000, and then we trade sideways through the parabolic trend. I'm going to expect a major downturn after that, settle up into the summer, and then run to a new all-time high above $140,000 before the end of the year." You know, it's funny. I love this. I'm enjoying reading this because I said that I feel like the positive catalyst with all of these businesses, I don't see them all jumping into Bitcoin all at once. I just don't. It's been a slow progression. I think that's going to continue. Maybe there's a slight uptick in the businesses jumping in, grabbing up some Bitcoin, especially now that the mainstream media is covering all the nations that are considering Bitcoin, working with Bitcoin, right? So if that does happen, I just don't see how that was. That's what made me think that this bull run could go towards the end of 2025. Once again, no guarantees, not financial advice, but that's what made me think that, because there's going to be a steady climb in big money getting into Bitcoin. I think that makes sense, right? And I think that he's coming from a different angle. He's looking at the charts. I'm looking at the real world catalyst, but we're arriving at the same conclusion, right? So it says Bitcoin is trading at $99,170 at the time of writing, around 8% below the all-time high of approximately $108,000, $108,200 reached on December 17th, 2024. All right, so now let's try to get one more Bitcoin article in here. I hope you all are doing well. In the next 2 days, I will be making another members only video. I have a request. I'm working on it. I have 2 members only videos I'm working on at the same time. So I'm trying to stay balanced with those. I'm trying to stay focused, but one of them is a request from a member. So I will be getting that done and that will come out in the next day or so. Okay. So now this article is titled Bitcoin price could surpass $200,000 in 2025. Blockchain firm sets target. So now, which blockchain firm? The Bitcoin I think out loud sometimes. The Bitcoin price appears to have finally started recovering strongly in the past few days, breaking through $100,000 ceiling on Thursday, January 16th. The premier cryptocurrency didn't stay more than a day above this. Of course, now it's going to be profit taking. You already know that. Come on now. Especially with that little downturn that recently happened. People are not playing any games. They're not taking any chances. As soon as it goes up, it's going to go for right now. It's going to go down. People are going to take profits. That's how it is. All right. Anyway, it says above this level, the last time it surpassed a six-figure valuation. However, the price of Bitcoin has returned to as high as $105,000 this time around, its highest level so far in 2025. Interestingly, it appears that this might only be the beginning of an even bigger rally for the Bitcoin price over the next 12 months. So they're saying the same thing. Folks, these people sound a lot like Alpha Neem, and I love it because it means that I take it as we've been on the right track. Remember when Bitcoin was red and not everybody, a lot of people told me Bitcoin was done for, it was dead, it's not coming back. A lot of people told me that, and I said at that time, it looks like Bitcoin is going to make a comeback. It looked like there could be an explosion in the future, and then boom, now we're here, right? And so a lot of these companies are starting to say the same things I've said, and it just feels good to be on the right track. I don't know. I'm just sharing with you. Why not? We have one life to live. I like to share and make that time worth it. In its latest weekly report, blockchain intelligence firm CryptoQuant revealed its target for the Bitcoin price in the year 2025. The on-chain analytics firm, sorry about that, something's in my throat. The on-chain analytics platform sheds light on the potential trajectory of the flagship cryptocurrency over the year. CryptoQuant projected that the price of Bitcoin to reach as high, get this, as high as $249,000. Wow. Or at least $145,000. I had said my number was 150,000. They're very close. That little minimum there is very close. It says, or at least $145,000 in the new year. This represents somewhere between a 45% to 150% positive yearly performance for the world's largest cryptocurrency. The market intelligence expects the Bitcoin price rally to be catalyzed by institutional capital flows. That's what I've been saying. And that, once again, that's why it seems like this may be a steady rate of growth for a while. They're not all going to get in at the same time. They can't. It says here, in the context of and some haven't been convinced yet, but they will over time. There's still that as well. Bitcoin is not as mainstream as they would have you believe. In the context of a favorable regulatory environment, there's that as well. Accommodative monetary policy in the United States and historical cyclical patterns. All right, so there's a lot going on with Bitcoin, obviously. Additionally, in 2025 is the last year in Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, which has been historically correlated with significant price surges. The price of Bitcoin reached a new record high of over 67,000 in the final year of the previous cycle. While this historical perspective suggests that the market leader could reach a new all-time high price this year, it also signals the likelihood of a Bitcoin price drop in 2025. So we will see, folks. We'll keep our eyes open. We'll adjust accordingly. As of this writing, the Bitcoin price stands at around $104,450, reflecting an over 4% increase in the past day. And once again, I want to say this. I think that a lot of these nations who are looking to utilize Bitcoin, I believe that if they act on that, a lot of their citizens will become bullish on Bitcoin and jump in. I do. And to a lesser degree, I feel that way about utility coins. Once it's less about the regular people with utility coins and just regular traders who are sort of in the know. The more companies come out saying they're going to use these utility coins or utility coin chains, I think that's going to be very, very significant in the future. It's been just a wee bit significant in the past, but there's just not been enough smart, quote unquote, smart traders out there. And I'm talking about people that do research, they're chart readers, etc. But that's growing, like I said. I think that a lot more of those types of individuals will act upon utility coins in the future, based on partnerships being announced. It's just going to it's going to get super bullish. Technology actually being used. It's like, look at what superimpose what has happened with AI, even though AI is still very, very young and early, but the excitement around AI and the jumping in on certain stocks that affect AI, etc., and superimpose that on crypto in the future, and once again put a hit of steroids on that. I think that's what it's going to be, especially with tokenization going wild, and I think that's going to be pushed heavily, and it'll be pushed heavily because the big companies want to make money off that, and they know how to do that better than anybody. They have the capital for commercials and all types of things, right? So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.